What's going on, guys? In today's video, I'm going to show you guys everything that you need to know when it comes to towing your C6 Corvettes. This applies to all of the C6 Corvettes, from the Stingray to the Grand Sport, the Z06 and the ZR1. Because when the clutch slave cylinder went out on this thing, I was left scratching my head. I'm like, where the hell do you put the tow hook? Is there a tow hook? How do you tow this thing? So I'm going to show you in this video where GM wants you to tow from. I'm going to show you some options or optional tow hooks that you can buy online. And then I'm going to show you what I'm doing to tow the thing. So in case you guys missed it, this thing left me stranded, or almost left me stranded. The clutch pedal went to the floor, and apparently there's a technical service bulletin, 14717 or something like that, that tells owners that yes, there is a problem with your C6 Z06s and your regular C6s, any manual Corvettes from the 6th generation, where it is going to have this issue. And the problem is that the slave cylinder is not up to par, and so if it goes out, it's covered under a extended warranty. Unfortunately, this car is not covered under that warranty because it's older than 10 years. So it's up to 10 years or 120,000 miles after the car was built. And so here we are. So I needed to figure out a way to get it to the dealership, because I'm going to have the dealer do this. And in order to do that, I could have had two options. I could have driven this thing, but I don't want to mess up with the synchros. I don't want to have to shut off the car at stoplights and turn it back on. It's quite annoying to do that. And so, okay, I need to get it on this trailer. And usually it's fairly easy. You put a tow hook. I have something that's called a come along, and I'll show you what that is. It is that right there. That is called a come along, and it works pretty well. And I just hook that come along to one of those hooks over there, and I just pull whatever car I need to and reposition. However, this car makes it a lot more difficult. So let's show you guys where GM wants you to hook your hooks into when you're towing this car. I have to get under the car and show you. So they're right here. If you see your red, that's because I installed those. Those are lift jack pucks. I like having them on my cars. Makes it easier for me to lift them when I'm working on them. And luckily, I'm able to show you guys. So you have to take this off, and where there's a hole in there that this installs into, that's where GM wants to put hooks on so you can tow to the front. So that down there, and then the hooks would have some chains, and the chains would go to the front. This car is extremely low, and so it's very difficult to do that. And you got to make sure that basically you're dragging the whole chain apparatus on the ground. Again, this car is extremely low to the ground, even stock. And so I found that to be kind of ridiculous. I'm like, there has to be a different way. And there is. There's aftermarket ways to get this done. In Europe, you could not sell a Corvette unless they have a tow hook. And the tow hook actually lives up front. There is a way to install a tow hook up front on these vehicles. And the tow hook would go right in here. In European Corvettes, this grill, or one of these grills, gets removed. And there's two bolts, and you can install it right there. To actually install it, you'd have to remove the bumper. And that's a little bit of a job. Got to get the bumper off. The clips are kind of annoying. And so I didn't want to go that route. But LG Motorsports, I believe, LG Motorsports does sell the front tow hook that you can install on these C6 Corvettes. They do sell one other type of tow hook. Let's go back here, and I will show you guys. The other tow hook that they sell is the one that gets installed in between the exhausts, right in there. And that works decently as well. It's kind of a pain to install as well. You don't have to take off the bumper, but it's a bit of a pain to install, but that is an option. What I instead did, and I'll show you guys what I did, and you could do this if you have a winch. You can do this if you have a tractor like I do. I took my chain, and this is safe to do as long as you're careful. I hooked it up to the subframe. There it is. It's kind of hard to get in there. Again, this car is extremely low to the ground. Let's see if I can get a better angle from back here. There it is. So it's just a chain onto the subframe. It's a very strong subframe. And I hooked it up right there. And I'm very, very gently and slowly moving the car up. And you got to make sure you have a lot of lumber, extra lumber. Because even on this I would say semi-low profile trailer, it's a pain to get this thing up on even this trailer. God forbid you have an even taller one. You need to cut down basically this whole tree to get enough lumber to get this thing up there. Yeah, I'm only slightly exaggerating. And so those are your options to pull a Corvette. Again, you want to be careful. You want to make sure that you're not hitting the lip. This lip will fold, but there's also these air dams at the bottom. They also fold, they're flexible, but you don't want to scrape them too hard. And so lumber is going to be your friend, and you have to be very careful and very slow about the whole thing. Now, I want to get this car fixed. Can't wait to get it back. I love looking at it. Maybe I should just park it permanently and install it as a piece of art. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below if I should do that, because it just looks so beautiful. It's hard to be mad at it too much. But man, what the hell was GM thinking? No tow hooks, no real provisions to get this thing towed. What are you thinking, GM? Even if it was a Honda, cars break down, the battery dies, etc. Cars need to get towed. It's unacceptable that GM didn't install proper tow hooks or the ability to put proper tow hooks on the Corvette. The Camaro has one right on front. It comes from the factory. You install it. It threads right in. It's really easy. The Type R, sitting over there, it has one in the back. Easy to thread in. Comes from the factory. Nice and easy. The Pilot also has that. The X5s, I mean, all BMWs have good tow hooks because we all know most BMWs need lots of towing. Getting towed to get fixed. They are complex machines. This one is my tow pig right now. And this is my tractor. So I'm using my tractor as a winch. So I have this very long, it doesn't have to be strong. I'm not doing that much force. And I'm very careful as to the angle because I don't want to mess up that front splitter. The angle is very important. It'll flex a little bit, but you don't want it to flex too much. See right there, it's flexing a little bit. Once I come off the lumber, it will come back. But I'm basically moving it 6 inches at a time, and it's very slow goings, and I'm making sure I'm maneuvering the tractor so that this thing gets accommodated properly. It's sad that I have to tow this thing to the dealer to get it fixed, but you know, I could fix it myself, but I swore off ever doing another slave cylinder after I did one in my Honda Prelude. Hydraulics in cars are just the biggest pains in the ass. I don't know why they don't have bleeders. They don't bleed them properly. I mean, I'll work on hydraulics all day, every day, on tractors and on skid steers because they're designed with hydraulics in mind and they're easy to work on. But when it comes to cars, I don't know what it is. Even bleeding the brakes is a whole thing you got to do. I don't know why hydraulics in cars are not as easy as they are in tractors. But there it is, guys. Let's take one last look. I also had to measure between the wheel wells to make sure that the Corvette fits because this is a very wide car. So I measured between there. It barely fits, so I have to be very careful. And I have to make sure I keep turning the wheel the proper way. I might have to turn it a little bit more. You guys see the angles a little bit to the, I would say, it needs to turn a little more, so I guess I'll keep the steering wheel where it is. You gotta make sure you don't scrape in the back either. Kind of a pain, so you have to keep on going inside the car, moving the steering wheel a little bit. So I'm gonna move this a little bit to straighten it out just a tiny bit. It's in neutral, otherwise it wouldn't move because the clutch is still engaged. Take a look at the clutch pedal. Ah, you gotta love that. All right, guys. I hope somebody found this video valuable. I hope this helped you guys out. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time. Peace.